Okay, I want to talk about scientific notation. That is large numbers that can be noted using scientific notation, which is two factors multiplied together. The first factor is created by dividing the original number by a power of 10. And that first factor is less than 10 and greater than or equal to 1. So, like I said, the first factor will be less than 10, greater than or equal to 1. Another thing to note about that first factor, by these guidelines, that means that there will be a single-digit number to the left of the decimal. So you notice here, that's a single-digit number. So, for example, 0.03 times 10 to the third is not in scientific notation because there is no number here to the left of the decimal. Also, 52.3 times 10 to the third, that would also not be scientific notation because there are two numbers to the left of the decimal. Okay, so it has to be a single-digit number, less than 10, but greater than or equal to 1. Now, the second factor is a power of 10. So, example, 10 to the fourth. All right, let's look at some practice problems here. If I have 84,000, notice to change it to scientific notation, well, one way is to move the decimal, which is really a form of division. 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. So that would put my decimal here. 4 moves would be the same thing as dividing by 10,000. And my answer for 84,000 divided by 10,000 would be 8.4. But to note it in scientific notation so that you can get back to the original number, you take that number that you divided and you multiply it by 10 to the fourth power, which is 10,000. So 8.4 times 10 to the fourth power, which is 10,000 in value, brings you back to your original number. Okay, so let's look at another example. If you have 200,000, you would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal moves, 2.0 times 10 to the fifth. Okay, now I have a few other examples. Okay, I want you to notice if we change this decimal to being in scientific notation, we would move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Well, that is times 10 to the negative 3. Another way of representing 10 to the negative 3 would be 4.09 times 1 divided by 10 to the positive 3 value. Okay, so 10 to the negative 3 is really dividing by 10 to the third power. Okay, so I put a little reminder here that if you have to move your decimal this way to get your first factor to where this is between lower than 10 and greater than 1, which what you're really doing is multiplying that. Then to bring it back to its original number, you have to times by 1 over 10 to the third. So anyway, this would be a negative exponent. And then let's look at this one. And by the way, a negative exponent does not mean a negative value. It has a different meaning in exponents. It means opposite. instead of negative. So the opposite of 10 to the third power is 1 over 10 to the third power. In other words, division. Okay, so let's look at another example. I have 555,900,000. If I need to change that very large number to scientific notation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decimal moves, that's 5.559 times 10 to the 8th. That is moving in the left direction from the original decimal. That would be to the left, and that ends up being a positive exponent. Okay, let's look at another example. This is not really scientific notation. So to make it into scientific notation, I would make 2 moves to the right. That would be a positive exponent. Oh, excuse me. I said that backwards. 2 moves to the right. If you look up here, right moves equal a negative exponent. So I take 8 times 10, and it was originally 10 to the 11th. So since it was a negative move, it's 11 minus 2. Our final answer is 8 times 10 to the 9th. Our next example, if we had 54.2 times 10 to the 8th, to make that in scientific notation, we move it 1 move to the left. That's a positive move. 5.42 times 10 to the 8 plus 1. So it's 5.42 times 10 to the 9th. Anyway, we could get into some more complicated problems, but for now, that's as far as I would like to take it. And I hope this has been helpful. I know I got a little tongue-tied on my words here and there, but hopefully you can tell with my math the right thing to do. Thanks. Bye.